this, or I don't know, but basically I think his favorite move is doing this, because he's done it so many times. So shit, I have to move away from that side. You already know those things. So change your pattern. Maybe learn, okay, the moment he does this, I'm already doing this. The moment he does this, I'm already facing. Even if it's just to change direction. Play that game 5 minutes and then switch. Change someone in the middle. Or a next level version. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna count to 5. You're gonna pass the knife. There's only one knife. Pass the knife. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Stop. Okay. So I saw the knife pass, and he attacked me as soon as the count ended. Nice work. That's the only way you're gonna get me.
Just like a Russian roulette.
Yes, Russian roulette. But give the person a chance to be able to prepare for it. Like, don't always 5 dead. That's Dark Souls difficulty. You're not training anyone there. They won't get better.
Okay.
That's it. Other questions? If you guys want to learn combos for attacking, meaning maybe you're in a situation where you're fighting more than one person and you're using your knife effectively, I'm happy to send videos and add me on Facebook. Thanks, guys. That's it. Hema? Longsword time.
Rồi cài.
Ai nói á?
Ai nói chính?
Để cho Hiếu nói chính.
Ai nói cũng được.
Alo, được chưa? Ok.
Go.
What the hell? Okay. Long sword. Chắc cứ Mai ơ mà dạy nhỉ?
Hả?
Chắc cứ Mai ơ mà dạy thôi, đơn giản không?
Trên ngang dưới, xong rồi 5 master cut thì thôi, còn lại những cái chiêu khác thì quá lằng nhằng.
Có lằng nhằng.
Chú nhớ biết accent không? Biết accent không?
Mấy cái đấy kệ đi. Phiền đấy.
Anh thấy cái đấy hơi khó nắm bắt. Accent versus
Cái đấy sẽ rất là khó nắm bắt.
cái slide thì cái sự cộng. Cho xíu anh.
Okay.
This Black Panther sword make just like real one.
What the hell is that?
Anh cầm cái nào cũng được.
Nhiều cách những cái thật nhất. Please.
Okay. So in Hema, most of the time we only fight each other one-on-one, right? We don't fight in a group. Most of the time the fighter would die. That's all. Most techniques are optimized for dueling. Okay. So especially the school that I'm training specialize in just one-on-one. There are 2 types of school. One is to move around and to try to find the opening. That is the Italian school. And the second school, which I'm learning, is just going straight. Try to beat out the weapon.
Okay.
For example, if you just do like that, I would try to keep fight like that, or do whatever technique that I will introduce later.
So is there so it's not about going around.
Yeah, most of the time it's just going straight. Most of the time.
Okay. So it really is about beating.
Okay.
It's about beating the defense of the person in front of you. Okay.
So to do that, first let's discuss about how to hold your weapon, right? just like in any sword fighting with two-handed weapon, your dominant hand is going to be up top, and your non-dominant hand is going to be down here.
Okay.
Your dominant hand is going to control the direction of the blade, right? So if from here you want to cut from the right, you move your hand to the right to cut it. From the left, I would try to move it. If I want to cut from down to up here, I'll try to move my hand down here first, then cut. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
And in my system, in whatever system, there's only there's two ways to hold the sword. One is the Hema grip, which is 90 degrees to the arm. This grip is strong. You can block with it, but for most of the time, it's very shallow, right?
Right.
And it's kind of tiring because you always tensed up the wrist.
Yeah.
Then secondly, which even in katana system use, is the handshake grip, forming the handshake.
Okay.
To do this, you only need to tighten these two fingers.
Okay.
The rest are relaxed.
Okay.
This allows you for a
Deeper
much
cuts.
longer, quicker, and more relaxed. You don't get tired as fast, but it's generally weaker in the term of structure.
Ability. Yeah.
Then there's the third type, which is special to the school, is this type. Very weird, right? Because with this grip, normally you don't think this can cut because look at the angle, right?
Yeah.
But this supports a lot of the kind of the master cut, the hidden cut in the system.
Right. Okay.
Like this, which you use your thumb to support the blade.
Yeah.
Like this. Or just simple thrusting, which a lot easier than this.
Okay.
Okay, that's about the grip. Now let's talk about.
Do you switch between the three grips?
Most of the time, yes, a lot.
Okay.
So let's talk about guard, right? In the system, there are generally five main guard, right? First is Vontak. It's translated as high guard, meaning any guard that is from the shoulder height upward. So either from here, or even up here, or even from the left side. So either side, as long as it's around shoulder height, it's called Vontak, high guard.
Okay.
This, as you can see, is very aggressive. This allow for maneuverability.
Okay.
The opponent cannot control your weapon.
Okay.
And allow you to attack very quickly.
Okay.
From here, quickly and strongly. From here, you can just shoot in.
Nice.
Okay.
What is the rule on grabbing the opponent's sword?
As long as you grab down here, it's okay. But up here, you mostly cannot grab it.
Right.
Because it's just
that's
cut
the
through.
sharp end.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can grab it and count you grab it. If he cannot pull off, you have to go like this. He cannot.
Okay.
And if you can pull it off, then you can cut.
Okay, that counts as a cut. Okay.
I mean, if cut in motion, it's the cut, but it's not move. But the shot is not move around your hand.
If you have bare hand, this is a technique for grabbing.
So you grab on the flat instead of the edge.
Okay.
But if you have the glove,
Right.
Just do whatever.
grab it.
Okay, but so
It's a bare hand.
monkey grip.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But it's mostly you don't want to grab the blade.
Right.
Mostly. You only grab when you are on very close range.
Okay.
Like a knife, right?
Yeah.
You grab the hand, not the weapon. Now the second guard is ox, which means kind of like hanging,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Like this, essentially. You straighten both of your arm, preferably the front arm, the right arm. You straighten it out, and keep the point toward the opponent at all time.
Okay.
Right? Both sides is doable. Either the edge or the flat. You can choose whatever, right? And with the flat, you want to keep your thumb downward, right? You don't want to expose your thumb. You don't want to expose your thumb like this. You want to kind of roll it down like this. Yeah, yes. This is, as you can see, a defensive guard, right? Mainly to counter this fearsome cut, right? You can just pull it up and you are safe. And it can be used for thrusting as well, right? The point is always towards the opponent. You just thrust. So ox, hanging. The third guard is this, flu.
Flu.
Yeah, kind of like, this is the main kind of defensive guard, right? This, you can block pretty much every cut, pretty much. From the rising cut, like this, right? You can just protect it. And because in this guard, you put your arm kind of close to your body, so your hand normally forms a hammer grip.
Okay.
So it's very strong, very
Stable.
stable, yes. And from here, you can just pull it like this to protect from the higher cut, right? This, in order to perform cut on from this guard, is quite hard. You have to roll it to other guard in order to cut, right? From here, if you want to cut from the bottom, you have to roll it like this and cut. Of course, in a real fight, it's going to faster, but it's not as fast as from here, right?
Right. From tag.
Ox. You want to straighten your arm as much as possible.
Ox as well.
This, no, this first.
Okay, so this is the
The
flu.
flu, yes. The point is always towards the opponent.
Okay. Flu.
Always try to keep it. Right?
Okay. And then
Here is called Albert, which is a full guard.
Albert.
Yeah, you can call it like that. Albert, without a T.
Alba. Okay.
Without
Alba.
a T, yeah. Albert.
Alba. Okay.
Without a T, that's all. This is the most relaxing guard, right? The sword is down here. You don't have to worry about anything. And from here, you can easily protect against rising cut, right?
Right.
So most of the time, they're not going to attack down there when you're in the guard. Most of the time, they got to aim toward the head area. So from here, you can kind of guess what the opponent is going to cut, right? It's going to do, right? From here, you can just raise up and defeat. But of course, you have to be quite fast and managing your distance. That's all. And the last guard is the land guard, long point, which, as the name suggests, long with a point. That's all. You push your weapon as far as possible, keeping your distance with the opponent, like a spike. You just try to keep the distance. This is not recall guard, but you can count it because it's regularly seen, right? But from here, it's very weak. You only do this to alert the opponent not to get closer.
Okay. So it's like a transition guard before you decide what you're going to do next.
That's true. Or when you want to retreat, you would do like this.
Right?
From here, you just cannot do anything.
Right.
And it's in the handshake grip, which is
Right.
very weak. Okay, so that's the 5 guard.
Okay. But I bet like some people still get points if they do long
Kinda
point,
if-
if someone's rushing.
Yeah, if
right?
someone rushing, that's why it's very, very defensive, right?
Yeah.
So that's why when you retreat, you wouldn't want to get hit. You just push the point forward.
Okay. So it's useful with aggressive as
Yeah,
well.
aggressive
Okay.
opponent. If the opponent keep charging at you, just pull the point. Okay.
Nice. Is there a moment where you let go of one grip to cut? Or
Generally-
it's not accepted?
Is it accepted? But it's kind of weak, first of all. the sword is quite heavy, you can do that. But
You
if
need
the
to.
opponent catch your weapon, you are pretty much dead
Right.
because you lose the stability.
Okay. So two-handed when cutting, ideally.
Ideally, yes.
But with thrusting, one-handed works?
Gonna depend.
Okay.
It's sword fighting. It
Right.
can be anything, right?
So that's what I'm interested in, because the principles for Kali state that your structure needs to be in order for a point to be valid,
Yeah.
even in sport. So that means if I'm hitting someone very loudly, like this, maybe it's gonna be counted, maybe it's not. But in most of the circles that I play in, this one is only for sport. It's never going to be accepted if you have traditional people scoring it. They'll say, "You're really going to fight like that? Okay,
But in
make your
Hema,
own school. Get out
Like
of here."
in Hema, as long as you can cut the opponent, as long
Sure.
as you can damage the opponent, it's count.
Right.
Uh,
So does that also mean that we're accepting the possibility of poison blades in Hema?
Poison blade,
It's fun, okay, but in the tournament, no.
no.
No, I mean not in real life. But that's also one reason why, because I think in Silat, so a lot of their, well, he'll tell you more about this because he has more Silat experience than I do. But like simple cuts are already going to severely affect you because the blades are poisoned. So just, you know, one on your cheek, 5 minutes later, you're like, it's like you had 5-10 beers. And then another
I know.
cut, it gets worse. So a lot of silat is about not getting cut and making sure you're at a low angle so that cuts like this don't get you.
Yeah.
And the rest is like, okay, control, 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 weird angle, destroy the arm so that it can't cut anymore.
But at that point, you kind of be like a master already,
No,
right?
no, like you're starting at the base.
Because right in history, right, most swordmen will have scar on their body.
True.
It's unavoidable, right?
Well-
They will encounter a small cut. They will encounter even big ass cut. But as long as they live, that's okay. And that's this swordmanship based around. Is
Okay.
to get alive. Is to be alive.
Hema, there are
Okay.
some people will like super clean fight. Just
Yeah.
like me. I don't want to be hit.
Yeah,
I like to hit people, but
Yeah.
I like to be hit.
sure.
So in the fight, like me and him,
Uh-huh.
I will
Clean cuts
block,
only.
avoid
Right.
anything I can to avoid being cut.
Right.
So I avoid being cut and find the angle to cut him back.
Right. Okay, I get that.
But at that point,
It
it's
depends on the style.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also, okay. So in the Hema context, that's something you have to decide between you in the game, right? Like between the people playing, or at least for you.
like we try to make the rule set as close to real life as possible.
Yeah.
That's all. With
Okay.
sharp sword and all.
Right. And it's also true that, you know, poison doesn't mean that the person dies instantly.
Yeah.
So they can still keep chopping at you even after they already ate one to the neck. Okay. So, phong tag,
Contact.
phong tag. And then
Try to keep your point behind
okay.
your body,
Oh, behind me. Okay.
meaning you present the blade instead of the point.
The edge face.
Okay. Okay. So here, 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 and then ox.
You try to keep your arm straight. That's all, and try to keep your point towards the opponent.
Right.
That's all.
And then flu.
Flu, like this. Try to keep your hand behind your body.
Flu. Okay. To the head. And then
Arbor.
Abba. Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
And long point.
And then long point.
Yes. And ideally, you want to keep your hand behind your body. You would not want to present the hand.
Yeah.
Because look at this, right? It's open.
Right. It's also because this is a heavier weapon. It's slower to retract.
Yeah.
So you can't give a target and then always be pulling. You'll get tired faster.
That's true.
All he's doing is this. Okay.
Now, based on these 5 guards, there will be different way to counter it.
Right. So from compact.
From one talk, you just try to move around. This is the like most Hema practitioners use this guard because it allows them to move around, right?
Right.
You want to try to.
So I have to constantly do this to.
No, you don't have to do this because why? You don't want to block like this.
Right.
You don't want to block like this because the area to block is very small. You want to block like this. The area is a lot bigger, right? If you look toward me, my body is covered. You cannot attack.
There's a bigger area.
Yes, my body is covered,
Right.
right? Ideally, every guard is covered.
Right. It covers most of you.
Yeah.
Right. The position. Right.
Even if you try to thrust, I will be
It's
safe.
easy.
Right?
Yeah. But if you shorten it here, close to you,
Then
then
it's very
just
dangerous.
this, and there's an opening here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is weird because the second school I'm learning, actually wants you to step in closer
Yeah.
to the cut. So let's say if you're cutting here, so most of the time I'll use like one hand, but if I'm doing this,
You can do that, but right? Like I said, this guard.
Yeah.
You want to go up this guard. In this system, right? It's actually kind of close to your second school. Get aggressive, get in, get close. And now I'm going to present how to. Okay. How to get close like this. The way to do that is to use these 5 master cuts. They are called like that because outside the school, other longsword school doesn't have it.
okay.
Or doesn't have that principle, that idea of how to attack the opponent as aggressively as possible, right? So first, right? Imagine both fighter at this guard. You cut to me, and I just
Okay.
I will try to strike as strongly as possible to displace your attack.
Right.
Oh, before this, I will introduce you to one more thing. It's the central line, right? As long as you cover your central line, you're okay. You're fine, right? You're blocking. But if you lose it, you're dead.
Yeah, because you're open here for
Yes.
attacks.
So these 5 cuts are gonna try to open that, right? If you cut like this, you are covered, right? So if I want to open that, I have to try to use even stronger attack to try to open the guard out and hit you.
Okay.
That's the first way. It's called Zonghao, which is the brass cut. Cut with a lot of angerness, right? With a lot of anger. Try to cut in.
Right. You speak German? Enough,
No.
enough for Hema. Zorn is wrath,
Yeah,
anger. How is to separate?
to cut.
Oh, the cut. Yeah.
Right.
Anger and cut. Okay.
And in this guard, in the manual, it's shown how to do this is to use this particular posture to generate as many force as possible.
yeah.
But of course, in tournament, it's very dangerous, right? Your body is very exposed.
Yeah. Also, you're fighting people wearing armor. That's
Yeah.
why you need to do that. In tournaments, you're trying not to injure people.
That is true.
So it's not the different mechanics.
It's kinda, right? And second cut is gonna be called Zonghao. Essentially, this cut is particularly useful in close quarter, in a very close distance. You don't use this cut outside here. The cut is performed like this. You raise to your ox, right, with the flat. Then you just alternating between two sides. Right? Yeah. You just try to move it in a kind of flat plane,
Something, yeah.
kind of like a helicopter.
We
Right.
have a similar motion.
You try to do this. And if you try to raise up a guard like this, right, you try to block it, it's really easy to get in.
Right.
And if you try to push my weapon, I would just get like
Right.
this.
So it would be that you would bait this as a weaker cut
Yeah.
and then use the momentum.
But you generally don't want to use this outrange, right? Because look at this. Look at the
Limited.
very limited range, and it's exposed.
Yeah.
So if you try to do that, I would just slide to the hand. That's all. Next, the third type is called Krumper. This does not directly attack the opponent, but instead the sword, right?
Okay.
If you try to cut me from the Zonghao, I would just try to do like this. Essentially using my blade to chop down the weapon in this kind of angle, using it kind of like my shield, right? The sword as my shield to displace the weapon and then do whatever. Very aggressive. And to do this, if you do it, it's very likely it's not gonna work. You have to very put your body to it. Even try to use your hand, use your arm to push down, then cut up. Right? It's called Krumper. It's to cut down.
Nice. So it's like a
Yeah, kind of like a windshield.
yeah.
Right? Wiping everything in a direction.
So you start from flug.
You can start. To do this, you want to start from bomb top.
Contact.
Yeah. Or flug. Nah. You would just want to start from bomb top or arbor really. Right from arbor, from here, you can just wipe out.
Okay.
Ideally with the side step to ensure your safety. But if you are very aggressive, you can just step in
Right.
much closer and much more to do.
Okay.
Fourth cut is called Zonghao, Squinting Cut. Essentially, it's very weird, right? You try to cut at me, I try to do like this. Essentially, I'm trying to cut forward.
Like almost like a double, but not.
Yeah, but not. Essentially, using my sword as a shield, right? It's almost like I'm returning to flug, but cutting,
Okay.
right? From bomb talk, I return to flug, protecting myself and cutting at the same time.
Are you pushing out?
Yeah, you would want to. Right?
He really just pushes me to the side and my cut is gone.
It's really hard to defend against that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very nice.
The final cut, which is very weird, is avoiding cut. It's called Zonghao. This is my interpretation, right? Is to avoid the weapon at all time. Here's the original way to perform it. You would try to cut my leg, right? My front leg,
So from tag to
Yeah.
the leg?
and I just retreat and cut to your head.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I interpret this as a retreating cut because normally you see people cut to the leg, right? Very dangerous. The head is exposed, the body is exposed, right? The enemy weapon range is longer. Here's another way to interpret it. You try to cut toward me, cut it. Essentially, I would want to try to snap your hand. I don't want to get in contact with your weapon. I just want to do a quick snipe.
So when you do the cut on the hand, is there a follow-up motion or does it stay on the hand?
There should be follow-up. if you want to be safe.
If you
right?
spam and okay, so cutting through.
Try to cut through, and at that time you are out range already.
Okay.
So this is pretty redundant, but yeah,
No,
sure,
no,
why
like
not?
it's to avoid any bullshit happening after, because you don't know how they're gonna react after the cut.
True.
Okay.
That's all. That's 5 cut.
Okay.
So let's repeat again. Let's revise. Zonghao. Progressive cut. Zonghao. Right. Ideally, you want to try to get in range. For example, Krumper. From here, I can just do a Zonghao. Very fast. Very effective. Carrying toward to help the head.
Okay.
Shield how. Right? Protecting and cutting at the same time.
Right.
And lastly, shatter how. Essentially just doing this. That's all. That's the basic of German longsword.
Nice. And after that is